Welcome to episode 2 of our series, 7 Women of the Old Testament. We journey with another woman who encountered God. You will discover how her story reveals God's love and faithfulness for those who feel unseen. If you missed the first episode, kindly check the link in our description below. Have you ever felt invincible, abandoned, and without hope? That's where Hagar was, a mother cast out into the desert with her son. No food, no water, ready to die. But at her lowest moment, heaven stepped in. Today, we uncover Hagar's story of pain, faith, and how God sees you even when the world turns it back. One day, Ishmael, whom Hagar, the Egyptian, had born to Abraham, was playing with Sarah's son, Isaac. Sarah saw them and said to Abraham, "Send this slave and her son away. The son of this woman must not get any part of your wealth, which my son Isaac should inherit." This troubled Abraham very much, because Ishmael was also his son. But God said to Abraham, "Don't be worried about the boy and your slave Hagar. Do whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that you will have the descendants I have promised. I will also give many children to the son of the slave woman, so that they will become a nation. He, too, is your son." Early the next morning, Abraham gave Hagar some food and a leather bag full of water. He put the child on her back and sent her away. She left and wandered about in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water was all gone, she left the child under a bush and sat down about 100 yards away. She said to herself, "I can't bear to see my child die." While she was sitting there, she began to cry. God heard the boy cry, and from heaven, the angel of God spoke to Hagar. "What are you troubled about, Hagar? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy cry." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well. She went and filled the leather bag with water and gave some to the boy. God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the wilderness of Para and became a skillful hunter. Hagar was an Egyptian servant woman who was given to Abraham and Sarah by Sarah to bear a child. Hagar became pregnant with Ishmael, Abraham's first son. Through Ishmael, Hagar became the ancestor of various Arab tribes, often known as the Hagarites or Ishmaelites. In Islam, Hagar is considered Abraham's second wife and a pious, brave woman. Al-roi, running between the hills of Safa and Marwa, is a key part of the Hajj pilgrimage, commemorating a search for water and the miraculous appearance of the Zamzam well. This was the second time Hagar had been forced to leave the only home she knew. Now, however, she carried the extra responsibility of another life, her son Ishmael. When the food and water she'd been given ran out, so did her hope. She placed the boy under a bush and drew a path, not willing to watch him die. The sound of sobbing was broken by the voice of an angel with a message from God of relief for the present and a promise for the future. Many women today suffer Hagar's fate. They too are forced from their homes, carrying little else than the precious bundle of a child. They too often reach the same point of despair and hopelessness. They too sit helplessly by, wondering who will come to their aid. But if they listen carefully, they, like Hagar, will discover that there is a God who sees. There is a God who hears their cry. There is a God who will point them to the source of living water, which will satisfy all their needs. You may never have come to the point of desperation that Hagar had reached, but you may have known times when you looked into the future with the same hopelessness and fear. Just as He provided for Hagar, so God provides for all who come to Him, a source of relief for the present and of hope for the future. Hagar was an Egyptian slave. She was a foreigner who would have been considered dispensable and unimportant. Yet, God knew who she was and every detail of our situation. God sees us too, even on the days when we think no one does. Like Hagar, we know how it feels to reach a breaking point in a situation and want to run away. Sometimes God grants us the freedom to walk away from situation. But sometimes we may need to turn back and face the problem. No matter how we mess up or how far we travel down the wrong path, God can turn our mistakes into something beautiful and usable. He can also redeem our stories from the sinful mistake of others. Hagar lost hope when she and Ishmael ran out of bread and water, but God saw and had their distress and provided for them. The same God who saw, heard, and understood Hagar does the same for us. Let's tuck this truth into our hearts so we can rediscover Him on the days we feel unimportant, lost, or hopeless. To each of us, Jesus says, "The water that I will give will become a spring with life-giving water and give them eternal life." We are never unnoticed by El-roi, the God who sees. Thank you for watching the second episode of our series, The 7 Women of the Old Testament. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.